help hinder it? How do you think that?
What do you mean with are you saying with Richard Pryor's son?
Well, that was a conversation. I think that confirmed what people were suspecting of Paul because he never.
No, it wasn't
came out.
suspecting. Richard Pryor called him Miss Thing.
Okay.
They knew. They knew. But Richard Pryor, listen to Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor said we couldn't get a deal or something like that, and Paul came over and sucked his dick. They knew.
Got you.
Richard Pryor gonna give it to you pure. I'm not playing. And Richard Pryor's not gonna chop it up. That's what he's gonna give it to you pure. Everybody knew who Paul was. Right. You guys are just finding out. But that didn't take nothing from who he was. You know, it's like, okay, I don't give a fuck.
Why do you think he feared to like just own it? Because we interviewed Rashawn Khan.
Who?
Rashawn Khan.
Yeah.
Pryor's bodyguard. We interviewed him, and he was just kind of saying that he felt that Paul should have kind of more used it as a, you know, especially now LGBTQ is like big.
Well, it's big now. There's a lot of rappers that are gay and not saying shit. There's a lot of people with the, you know, like, hey, I don't know why. I don't know that culture. But I know there's a lot of people hiding. And you know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know why Paul, you know, I don't think he really hid. I don't think he really hid.
He just didn't, I guess for some people didn't own it. Didn't say, hey, this is what I am.
But is he supposed to say that to everybody? Hey, I'm gay, y'all. Hey. Because nobody else, the rappers won't do it. The actors won't. Did Rod Hudson do it?
Rod Hudson.
You don't even know who that is.
It sounds familiar, but who's that?
See, look up Rod Hudson. He didn't do it.
This is a comedian, or
no? He's an actor. Rod Hudson was like one of the biggest white actors in the world.
Okay, I'm seeing him right now.
They loved him. Yay. So I think Paul comes from that school. Like what I do in my home is what I do in my home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It used to be nobody's business because, you know, we come from, Hollywood is debauchery, cocaine, rock and roll. All this other fake shit people coming up with. Oh, Pierre was talking about that. He's looking at some girls' titties. It's Hollywood. Her titties is out. I'm going to do cocaine on her titties later on. The fuck you mean? Why are you looking at her titties? So, are you saying this is the new Hollywood is sterile? Okay, that's what it is. But don't tell me your motherfuckers is innocent when you just painting white people up as Indians. Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you think with him being a black man in Hollywood, he just was like? Because I remember Dolomite was. So
you think Paul Mooney's the only gay black man in Hollywood?
Hi, you guys. So in a recent interview, Faizon Love was asked, do he think about the legacy of Paul Mooney, and do he think that his sexuality had anything to do with him not, I guess, having a certain, did it affect his legacy? I'll just word it that way. And he said no, he didn't think so because it was out there. And that's true, it was out there. I think what happened was he was reintroduced to a newer audience and to newer generations with that Chappelle show and probably a couple other things that he was a part of. And so his name reemerged again, right? So people of a certain age probably wondered, but they don't remember or know that those jokes and things that Richard Pryor said were already out there from years ago. It was, in an article that Richard Pryor was dating a transgender woman. So all this stuff was out there, and he even made some jokes about his sexuality, his own sexuality. I'm speaking of Richard Pryor. During his stand-up days. So a lot of this talk was there. Obviously, it's not the same, as it is today, right? It definitely was a different time. but there were some people that were open. Obviously, Sylvester was open. He was out. Um, so there was people who, Little Richard, of course, who goes way, way back. So, I mean, some people just did not choose to, you know, they didn't feel it would help them, their career, to put that out there. But that don't mean that people didn't know that that was going on or that was their lifestyle. Personally, I think that would probably would keep a Paul Mooney from having a certain type of career was the type of things that he talked about as far as you know, racism and um, discrimination, things of that nature. I think that that is probably what, you know, made people uncomfortable about him, and he wasn't willing to compromise when it came to that. And I don't think that he should. I think that all these other people can say what they want to say, that he should be allowed to say what he wants to say as well. And I do, and that's one of the things that I do respect about him is that he did not compromise himself for any of all of that, for all of that stuff anyway. And I think that is a part of his legacy, but I think it had more to do with that than his sexuality. But yeah, I guess, you know, the blackness and the gayness is probably a lot, right, for him to carry. But he did. And I really don't judge people or measure people on a lot of this stuff that other people, you know, like people have to have Oscars and Grammys and all this stuff. I understand those artists want those things because for them, they are probably why they went into the business in the first place. But I personally don't necessarily judge people on that stuff because I feel like there are great, great, great artists who never got a Grammy ever. And that definitely does not take away from their with their body of work and, you know, their talent. So I don't care about all that stuff like that. And I think sometimes we do get a little caught up in all of that, as if that's something that we need to measure each other on. But what do you guys think if you saw the interview? If not, go over to Comedy Hype and watch his entire interview with them. Um, you know, Faizon really, he was kind of putting it out there. He was breaking it down as well. So I would say go and check out the interview. He, of course, is somebody that's inside of Hollywood. So if he's saying it, then he probably, you know for sure. But I feel like when Richard Pryor making certain jokes and then making certain jokes about certain things, that should have led people to understand what was going on. Now, you know, I agree with Faizon. Why would he walk around every day having to keep announcing to people that he was gay? You know, he didn't have to do that. That was not called for. Um, I don't know, but what do you guys think? Do you think that he maybe should have addressed more LGBT issues? Is that what it is that people would have wanted from him? Or do you think that he handled things the way that he should, coming from the generation that he came from, where people didn't talk about all that stuff anyway? So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.